We're now going to cover the copy module, which in the standard library is down over here. And when we click on it, you can see that it's actually just a small amount of documentation. There's just a couple of objects in here. What's important is this deep copy function. I want to talk about that one and how useful it is. So first, I'm going to do a little bit of a review and how Python does not create a new copy of an object when assigning one variable to another. So when we have some mutable object, say like a list like this, and we do B is assigned to A like this, B and A are just names, variable names that reference the same underlying list. So remember, we checked that with A is B, that is true. So if I change B and I say the first item of B is 99, and I print out A, well, they're both going to have their first item changed to 99 because they're referencing the same object. All right, now the correct way to create a new object is use the copy method. So instead of saying B equals A, we do A dot copy, and now A and B no longer reference the same object. They do have the same values right now, but if I change, let me just copy this again. If I change the first value of B to 99, A will still have its values. Now, what the copy method here does is what it's actually doing is called a shallow copy. So I'm going to show you how this works. A shallow copy will actually still not produce an entirely new copy if there's a list within a list. So I'm going to say 1, I'm going to create a new list over here. And the third item is going to be another list. Let's make it different numbers, say 4, 5, 6. All right, so there are 3 items in this list, A are 1, 2, and then the third item is a list 4, 5, 6. Now B, I'm going to do the same thing, A dot copy. And if I do A is B, I am going to get false, but here is where it gets tricky. So let me just make sure A and B have the same values. So if I say A of -1, that's this last item. And let's get the first item of that last item. So 4, let's say I change this to 99 and I print out A. Okay, that makes sense, right? I've changed the first item in that last list, but if I look at B, it is also changed. So this is a little surprising. You think, all right, I made a copy, but what it did is made a shallow copy. So it doesn't copy any lists in here or any other mutable objects like that. It keeps references to those. So both A and B reference this same underlying list. And you can test this with the is method. So we can say A of -1 is B -1. They're both referencing that same underlying list. So now what we need to do is perform a deep copy, and that is not possible with the list itself. We have to use the copy module. So there's no deep copy method. There's no parameter in here to make a deep copy. So what we have to do here is import the copy module, which has the deep copy function available. So now let's go ahead and just copy and paste the code over here. So we're going to create that same list, but now we're going to say deep or copy dot deep copy A. So I'm just going to run the same exact code. And now I'm going to, let me run this. So is A B? No, that is false. That's the same as before, but here's the real test. I'm going to mutate the last item, which is a list, and the first item in that list, I'm going to change it to 99. That looks good. Then I'm going to look at B, and B now does not have its value changed, unlike over here, which it did. Okay, so this is quite an important function to be aware of. It's the deep copy function inside of the copy module.